When I was selected as St. Rose Elementary Student of the Year, I was very excited and ecstatic because there were many nominees, and it's been a really big goal that I have had since 3rd grade, and I was very honored to represent my school. My role model would probably be my teachers and my parents, because my teachers, they educate me well. They care about all of the students at our school, and my parents teach me to be well-rounded and to never give up even when you stumble. I want to be an engineer when I grow up. Engineers can solve problems that may be occurring in their area, and I would like to create a bigger impact on our community to make our community a safer and better place. One of my biggest accomplishments wouldn't exactly be an award that I have won. It would be probably improving in public speaking, because when I was little, I've always been a really shy little girl, and I never wanted to speak up, but through my extracurricular activities, I have learned to be a team player and get out of my shell. I think my extracurriculars have affected my life as a student because they teach me to be more humble. They actually give us a chance to make bigger relationships with different people that we may have not met yet, and they give us a chance to make different friends.
It feels awesome to be the Student of the Year at Norco. The moment when I found out, I just couldn't stop smiling, and it feels awesome to be the person that little kids and even kids in your grade look up to. There's a feeling that I can't describe that I just love. My role model or real life hero is my Nana. Even though she isn't here, she always has that impact on my life because I act exactly like her. When times are tough or something, just thinking about her, it makes me happy. She's just that person that you can't help but loving her because she's so sweet. Being in band and playing my flute, that's led me to wanting to be a band director, and because I learned a lot and I want to grow that knowledge into a ton. And I know I'll learn stuff in school, but when I'm a band director, I guess I get to learn more things about kids and how they are, and that's really had an effect on my life. I look through my old sketchbooks and now I think they're terrible, but at the time I thought they were really good. So, and just seeing my own self grow into what I am has really impacted me throughout my life. I've always been there from students, even and kids, even from I was little bitty. If they need help, I'll show them the way, and I always love to lead people and see how they grow up to be a leader, or if they'll be a follower, and I hope they'll be a leader one day too.
When I was selected as the R.J. Vial Elementary School Student of the Year, I was excited. I consider myself to be a leader and follower because I can lead my peers to show the correct way to do things. But if I see somebody doing things the right way, I might follow the way they're doing it. Choir affects my day-to-day life because I can learn different notes, because now I can hit lower notes than I've ever been able to. And then robotics, it gets to show me the day-to-day life problems, and I get to come up with ways to fix it. When I grow up, I would like to be an orthopedic doctor because I'm into learning the actual name of bones and not what people call them as a nickname. My biggest accomplishment that I am most proud of is when one of my writings made it to the state level, and I got a certificate from John Bell at work. And when they announced that I got second place at state, I was very excited.
When I was selected Student of the Year, I was kind of shocked. I didn't really think I was gonna get it, but I was excited at the same time. And when I got done, I thanked all my friends, and they were all proud of me, so I was really excited. I consider myself to be a leader because I am always trying to help and encourage others to be themselves, and I always help with schoolwork when they need it, and I'm always trying to do my best in class. When I think of school, I think of all the things I get to do in school, and choir helps me think of that. So choir really helps me love to go to school. My role model would be my mother, because me and her have gone through a lot, and she still tends to be able to go through it and take care of me as a parent. She's my favorite person on the whole earth. I would either like to be a lawyer or a teacher. I would like to be a lawyer because when I can have a voice for other people who don't have a voice. If I want to be a teacher, I can help students learn and engage in their schoolwork.
When I found out I was Student of the Year, I was really happy, and I was surprised at the same time because I never thought I'd make it this far. I think my biggest accomplishment was my first trophy. It was a Brilliance Award, 2018-2019 Brilliance Award. It made me feel really happy, and I thought I'd never win one. My role model is probably my big brother because he is in the future business leaders of America, and that kind of motivates me for when I'm older. I consider myself a leader. My grandma always told me if they were to jump off a bridge, would I jump off of a bridge too? So I thought to myself, maybe I can be other people's role models and at the same time be my own role model. Art impacts me in a good way. Art class also gives me time to process my thoughts and helps me add details to my stuff. It's just like a little space where I can get away. When I grow up, I was planning to be a medical researcher. I'm probably gonna move to Tokyo because they're high advanced systems with their medical systems and their technology.
I felt really surprised when the principal announced I got Student of the Year. For the next week, I was still in shock that I had gotten it. And did I really get it? Was it just a dream? And I had actually gotten it, so I was super happy. I actually have two biggest role models. There's my mom and there's my Aunt Sabrina. My mom, because she works super hard and she's the best mom I could have had. I would consider myself as a leader because I'm not that kind of person who likes to follow someone else. I like to be my own person. I like to push others towards the right road. And my favorite part about school is art because it isn't just learning. It's something where you just get to sit down, relax, and just draw whatever you want. And how it's so interesting with all the tools you get to use. I just think that it's so fun to do. I think that my biggest accomplishment in my life is Student of the Year because I've never gotten something this big before. I feel like I'm so lucky to be able to have this opportunity to be able to be Student of the Year. And I think it's so great to be Student of the Year because I get to be a role model for others.
When I was selected to be R.K. Smith's Student of the Year, I felt this rewarding feeling whenever I was chosen, and that the hard work and effort that I put into my accomplishments is finally paid off, and in the end I was able to show my school in a good light and represent them with positive and just good manners. My role model would probably have to be my grandfather. He passed away when I was pretty young, but I got to know him a little bit, and I represent him in a pretty good way. He So I'm kind of representing him, and he's just showing this good light and this path for me for whenever I grow up and grow older. So I kind of just strive to be like him in a way. I try to be a leader to the best of my ability and just as best as I can. So to know that some kids may look up to me because of maybe my grades or just the position I am right now, but I don't let it get to my head, and I try to spread as much positivity and help people. I don't look at myself as higher up than someone else. I look at them equal, so I can get to know them better and not make them look at me as if I'm in charge of them, but like their friend. My favorite subject would probably have to be ELA. I've always been good with working with words, and to know that I can finally use that talent in writing and just literature in general, I feel like ELA is just this subject that I enjoy, and it has a good atmosphere during classwork, so I feel like that's the class that I'm most successful in.
Well, how I found out I was selected was my principal put the IT guy in the room, and he pretended like he was working on the computer. And then they announced it, which took about 5 minutes of drum rolls before he finally said it. And then they announced my name, which I was fairly surprised about. And then I walked to the office while the IT guy filmed me the whole way, and then I got candy. My role model is my little cousin because he does have autism, and I feel like I know that it'll be a long road ahead of him, and I feel like just like his willingness to practice, and I feel like I've got a good connection with him and like his way of just getting through what he has to do. But I consider myself to be a leader because I feel like I can get people rallied up and get them excited about something, and I can get them to do what we need to, not what I want them to do, but what we need to do, and like what will be the best course of action for what we need to accomplish. My favorite subject would probably be ELA, just because I really like the teacher, and I've had her for 3 years now, so I feel like we've really had a chance to connect. And I feel like I really like writing, and I really like the process of writing and developing characters. Well, I feel like my extracurriculars have added to my school experiences, because I feel like soccer has helped me with leadership, and like it's helped me get to communicate with kids, and it's made more friends. And it's also, considering now that we finally have soccer in middle school, I feel like it's helped me like make more friends through that, and it's been a fun experience. I enjoy robotics because it allows me to communicate with people, and I enjoy seeing the inner workings of things, and I feel like that's a very useful part, and it also has helped me make friends.
When I was selected as J.B. Martin Student of the Year, I was very excited. I was even crying. I was so happy to be given that opportunity, and I was really excited for what came next as competing for the Parish Student of the Year, and it's a really great honor. My favorite subject is ELA because I enjoy reading, especially whenever we have independent reading and we can read whatever we like. I like to just settle down and enjoy a good book. And I like to write because it's another way to express yourself, and I like to just be alone with my thoughts and just get everything down, and it's really fun. And I enjoy being in choir because I love to learn new notes and learn new signs and new things, and it's really fun to have different arrangements and sing the same song different ways. And I love whenever we sing in different parts, and you can hear different parts singing at the same time, but singing different things. And it's really fun and harmonic. And I always continue to be in choir because I want to be able to expand my singing and get better, because I enjoy singing and I enjoy learning different songs and different ways of singing things. My role model is most definitely my mom. She definitely is a good example to me and shows me the right things to do and the right way to be and how to treat people. And she's just my rock, and I wouldn't be here without her.
When I was selected as Cameron Student of the Year, I was very honored, and I was very shocked because I was not expecting it at all. I had a lot of big competition, and it was just a really big surprise for me. I found out I was selected as Student of the Year when my mom and my dad and my grandpa and my sister walked in to my 6th period science classroom, and it was just a blur from there because it was a big shock. So I'm in talented art and talented theater. It has a huge impact on my life. I really like doing those things. Theater especially because I get to express myself on stage, and then art because I get to express myself on paper. My art teacher has taught me how to do new things like shading and highlighting and things I never knew before. At first I was just like an ordinary artist. I never really paid attention to those things, but then as soon as I got into talented art, I learned way more than I could have imagined that went into art. My favorite subject right now is ELA because I love my teacher and I love how she interacts with us to talk about our book and the themes in it. My role model would be my dad and my mom, but mostly my dad because I really look up to him. He provides for my family, he's a very hard worker, and I strive to be like him.
Well, my biggest accomplishment would be becoming Pedestrian Student of the Year. You're among so many other people who you know are strong students, who you know have worked, some of them just as hard as you have, put their all effort into it, and to be chosen and selected as Pedestrian Student of the Year is great. My role model has to be my mom. She's a strong woman, she's hardworking, she's selfless. You know, she thinks about everybody before she thinks about herself, and she always gives her all into everything. She doesn't do anything halfway. She always goes the full way. She always puts all her effort into it, and she keeps her word, and that's very important to me. I consider myself to be a leader because I know who I am, and I know what I want to do in life, and what's important to me really, to be a face in my class. I'm just honored that I have made this accomplishment so I can inspire others to show what anybody can do if you just work hard and have determination. Student council has also given me a voice for other students to advocate issues or problems, things that need to be solved in the school, because everyone doesn't have a voice. Everyone doesn't have the courage or the position to tell people or advocate to people what are problems, what needs to be improved, and these extracurriculars and officer positions have given me the opportunity to advocate for people who don't have that opportunity.
When I was selected as Hahnville Student of the Year, I was beyond ecstatic. I've done so much for Hahnville in my past almost 4 years of being at Hahnville, and so to be able to finally represent the student body was just a dream come true. My role model is most definitely my grandma Linda, because she's been that person to like guide me through everything. She's always been there for me. She's the one who got me started in Girl Scouts and kindergarten and has kind of helped me develop the leader that I am today, and so without her, I have no idea where I would be right now. My biggest accomplishment thus far has been serving as the Louisiana 4-H State Citizenship Board Vice President, because it has allowed me to see what exactly it takes to plan a statewide service learning project, and has enabled me to see what it's like to be able to make a big impact on my state versus just in my parish or in my town and stuff like that. So I am currently involved in a lot of extracurriculars, and I found that from participating in those that I've been able to gain a broader sense of just how the world around me works, and I've been able to get a more open mindset just because I've seen so many different scenarios, so many different living situations, so many different kinds of people, and I'm able to better interact with my peers. I'm able to apply that to the problems I'm trying to solve in school as well, and just I've been able to take what I've learned to better myself and to better the world around me.